Hey guys, it's me again. It's Saturday the 16th of January 2011. Things are going really great here. The weather's not necessarily warmer, but it hasn't been as rainy, so that's really nice. School's been going really great. I like both of my teachers a lot. They're going to switch on Monday so that I have my afternoon one in the morning and my morning one in the afternoon. But they're both really funny. They give us great examples and do great activities. Like the other day, my teacher, Sylvia, was trying to explain to us amounts when we use them with like Sarah and a star, and she was just explaining things like un poco or demasiado with drinking because she thought that that was an example that we would understand. So she was going on and on about un poco or ay demasiado. But it was really funny. She gives us examples like that every day, or if we don't understand something, she'll act it out, and she's really an engaged professor. So I like her a lot. And then my other teacher, Elisa, she's really, really nice, but she's a little bit more strict on our grammar and our pronunciation, so she'll yell at me if I'm talking too fast or say, ¿Cómo? And she'll have me repeat things over and over and over so that we really get it down. And it's kind of funny because I said the French in my class have a hard time with the same things. So we're both like repeating things, but we're doing really well because she's really catching on to the things where we're making mistakes or we're reading something too quickly or where we're having a problem consistently. So she's a really good teacher because she notices the details. I've been explaining things to them like American customs and American different phrases like tongue-tied and trendsetter and different things like that. So it's kind of like every day I'll try and ask if there's a phrase like, thank God it's Friday in Spain. And they'll look at me like, what? And then I'll explain it to them over and over and over and like, oh no, pero en Estados Unidos sí. And, you know, we'll get in like long conversations about stupid phrases that we have in our different countries. And it's a lot of fun, but it kind of gives you like that common street knowledge. So I really like that we can kind of do that in class and that it's so small that we have time to do that in class. Another exercise we did the other day with Elisa was we had like a card of faces on it, and we had to explain what each face meant or what we thought that person was doing or thinking or whatever using like Sarah and a star. So, you know, we say, él está triste porque, and we had to say why. So we were making up ridiculous things like, oh, this man is sad because, you know, he lost his cat when he was in the subway. Or we were saying, you know, oh, this man is angry because his wife didn't make him dinner and he's going to go slap her today, or something ridiculous. That was like something that would never happen, or if it did happen, it would be really strange or violent or something ridiculous. And somehow from that, we got on to talking about how much we all hate Mickey Mouse and how we think that he's really expensive and that when you drink around the world, he is raping you for your money. So that was also really funny. I was like, no cervezas con Mickey. But that was really great. And we do stuff like that every day. So it's always, you know, you want to go to class. You're excited to be in class. You feel like you can input your own opinions and your own culture into class. So that's really nice for me because obviously I'm the only one from the United States in my class. And everybody's kind of interested because things like that are different. And I don't know. So that's a lot of fun. What else have we been doing? There's not a lot more that we've done in class other than, you know, like going over things, kind of reviewing a little bit and picking up people's struggling areas. One awesome thing that happened was I finally got my passport photos that I needed for my Metro Pass. The first time I tried to do it, you have to go into these little booths that's like the photo booths and where you take the 4 or 3 or whatever photos of you and a friend that's like a strip, but they give you 6. And the first time I did it, we printed the wrong one, and it gave me one large picture of my face. So now I have a very unnecessary picture of myself. But then we did the second one, and I finally got to the Stenko, which is a tobacco shop, to get my card, and I get to go pick it up on Monday. I have a little ticket receipt to go get it. So I was really proud of myself that I got in there and got what I needed and knew what my forms said and filled it out and got out of there with what I needed. So I'm going to go get that on Monday, and then, you know, we'll charge up our card when we're allowed to do that. What else has been going on? We went out for the first night the other day. I believe it was Friday. And we were walking around and there was hookers everywhere. And later I found out that hookers here are legal as long as they don't have a pimp. So we were like, oh, well, that's really awesome because there's like 25 of them and no one said anything. But we went to a tapas bar and got a cerveza and kind of sat and hung out a little bit and talked to some of our new friends. And then after we were walking, we were thinking about going home, and we got stopped by one of the guys that's passing out the cards for like free entry to the bars. And I was kind of talking to him, and we were all kind of like hassling him a little bit because we were like, we're not going to go to your bar unless you give us a free drink. It's like early in the week. So he was like, okay, I can only give you one. I was like, no, vamos a casa. And he was like, no. And, he ended up giving 2 of us a discount and the other 2 of us free drinks and then all of us free entry. So we ended up going there for a while, and I met another girl named Lexi. So that was kind of cool. We're meeting a lot of people from a lot of places and a lot of different schools, and it's a lot of fun because then you get a lot of different mix of culture. Then I actually got to go out with a girl that I met on my airplane on the way here that studied here for 3 years. Her name is Allison. And she took me to this little tiny place called Sesamo that is a hole in the wall with like the most uninviting sign, the most uninviting door, and when you go in, there's nothing. But when you go downstairs, there's like a piano and all these waiters and tables, and it's like this underground, secret, awesome place to go get sangria for really cheap. So we got this awesome sangria, and it only cost €3 per person in a big pitcher. So we both got 3 drinks for €3. So that was really, really cheap, and the sangria was fantastic. So that was awesome. And then after we were walking around, like, where do you want to go? I know where everything is. And we ended up going to this place where you get awesome churros, and we got churros con chocolate. And the chocolate is kind of like fondue, but not as thick. It's not like fudge sauce. It's more like a rich chocolate sauce, like how you have no-bake cookies before you put the other stuff in it. And then the churros are just dough. There's no, like, cinnamon sugar on it like in the United States because those are Mexican churros. So it's like this chocolate and dipping dough, and you dip it in this dipping chocolate, and it's just amazing. And we did that at, like, 1 o'clock in the morning. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm going to meet up with her again tomorrow, Sunday, for El Brastro, which is this big market in the street. And it's kind of like a flea market or like a weekend market where you can go out and go buy a whole bunch of stuff and walk around. And it's really close to her house, so we're probably going to do something after. So that'll be a lot of fun. Last night was fantastic. We went out again with a couple of our other friends and met over closer to the theater where we haven't gone out before. And we met another girl named Gina. She's from Slovakia. And then she brought her roommate, which is from Germany, and his name is Oki. So we all went out and had a couple drinks and kind of hung out and walked around. And we went to this oyster bar and walked around. And it's just kind of getting to know the area so that we know where we are and know our routes around and everything like that. But the best part about that night was when I was going, because the 3 of us left a little bit before our other friends. When I went and got on the metro, I had to take a separate line than them. And when I got on with all these drunk men. There was like 5 or 6 drunk men. And they were screaming and yelling and aha! And I had a seat, so I was sitting instead of standing near them, thank God. But the women next to me were whispering, and then they started talking to me about them. And I was like, sí, es verdad, da-da-da. And then I had to get off because I was at my stop. And the boys start yelling at me, oh, stay on the bus with us, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, permiso, por favor. And, trying to get past them. And then I was like, perdona. And they kind of were like, ay, pijo. And I was like, and I had to get off the bus. So it was just kind of funny. I was like, yes, bitch face. Works every time. No one's going to harass me. So that was really cool that, I got home safe. And I kind of felt like nobody was going to mess with me. So I was happy about that. Today, I think, was the final thing that I wanted to talk about. We went to Aranjuez y Chinchón, and those are 2 different places a little bit south of Madrid, like 45 minutes. And Aranjuez, oh my God, blah, 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 is where the Palace Real is, and I got pictures from it. These are pictures from some of the things inside because you're not allowed to take photos. So I bought 2 postcards to show you. This one is of this room that has similar things in it to Alhambra. And then the other one is a room of a whole bunch of things that remind me of, like, It's a Small World. And those are my favorites, so I got those postcards. And then when we went to Chinchón, we walked around, and the whole city was like a giant hill. And we went to this place for lunch that was at the top of the hill, and you go in their basement, and it's like rocks and like big tubs of wine, and they give you a euro shot of wine for, you know, just whatever. You go down there and you get a euro, and you get this shot in this little glass. It's a clay glass, shot glass, and you get to keep it. So we had a shot of wine and then went upstairs and had lunch, and it was really fun because we were with my French classmates, and they're wine connoisseurs. That's what they do for work. So we were like, oh, the vino, da 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 da. And we were talking about wine, and it was a lot of fun. But other than that, from the day, I got this card that tells my Sagittariusness. But I do not know if I'm any longer a Sagittarius, so we'll have to see. But I'm going to go. I will let you guys know how getting my card on Monday goes, and about El Rastro tomorrow. And just so everybody knows, my mom is now giving me meat. So, see you guys later. Bye.